Let's be honest. Have you ever looked at your calendar just packed with back-to-back meetings and let out a huge sigh? Yeah, we all have. We kind of see them as this necessary evil, a total time suck. But what if I told you they're also one of the biggest, and I mean biggest, hidden expenses your company has? So today, we're not going to treat meetings like a calendar problem. We're going to treat them like a business problem, and we're going to figure out how to fix them. Okay, let's just start with a number that should really get your attention, $10,000. And no, this isn't some made-up figure. This can be the actual cost of a single 1-hour meeting if you get your senior leadership team in a room and absolutely nothing gets done. So, I'm actually curious. Have you ever really stopped and run the numbers for your own company? It's a pretty simple calculation, but I'm telling you, the result can be absolutely shocking. We just tend to accept meetings as part of the job, right? We never really look at the receipt. And the math behind it is surprisingly simple. You just take everyone in that room, you figure out their total hourly cost to the company. And that's not just salary. We're talking benefits, taxes, all of it. And you just multiply it by how long the meeting is. All of a sudden, you realize that every minute someone spends just staring at the wall isn't just boring, it's literally burning cash. So, if these meetings are so darn expensive, why are so many of them, well, so useless? Let's do a little autopsy on the typical bad meeting and figure out what really makes it fail. Oh man, we have all been in that room, haven't we? The meeting finally ends, the laptop snapshot, and then that question just hangs in the air. That right there, that's the sound of a meeting that was all talk and no action. It's where great ideas and all that forward momentum just go to die. And that empty question is really just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, look at this list. Does any of this sound painfully familiar? No clear agenda, so you're just drifting. The wrong people are in the room, so you either can't make a decision or you're wasting the time of people who have no business being there. The discussion goes completely off the rails. It's just a recipe for burnout, where the very word meeting makes people want to go hide. And here's the key thing to get. These are not just little annoyances. No, they are a direct drain on your company's most precious resources. You're losing way more than money. You're losing focus, you're losing momentum, and you are absolutely crushing your team's morale. Okay, so that's the problem. It's big, it's expensive, and frankly, it's draining. But here's the good news. It's totally fixable. So let's talk about the solution. It's a simple but really powerful framework for building a better meeting before it even begins. This is called the 5P framework. I want you to think of it like a pre-flight checklist for every single meeting. It's designed to force you to be clear and to turn what could be chaos into a focused, productive, and valuable session. So let's just walk through it real quick. It starts with purpose. Why are we even doing this? Is it to make a decision, to share info, to brainstorm? You have to be specific. Then, product. What exactly are we walking out of this room with? Is it a signed-off budget, a list of action items? Next, participants. Based on that product, who absolutely needs to be in this room? If they can just read the notes later, they do not need an invite. Fourth is process. How are we going to run this thing? A 10-minute presentation, then a Q&A, a brainstorming session? And finally, my personal favorite, pitfalls. What could completely derail this whole meeting? Thinking about what could go wrong is the absolute best way to make sure it goes right. And listen, this is probably the most critical part. The 5P framework isn't something you just pull up as the meeting is starting. It's the homework. The real magic happens in the 10 minutes of actual thought you put in before you ever send that calendar invite. This is how you stop playing defense and start designing a successful meeting from the get-go. All right, so with that solid preparation done, you're totally set up for success. But you still have to actually run the meeting. So let's talk about a couple of tactics that bring that prep to life once everybody's in the room. You can really see the difference here, right? On one side, you've got the kind of meeting we all dread. It's chaotic, it's meandering. People are just passively sitting there. On the other side, you've got focus, you've got control. I mean, the difference is night and day. It's what separates a total waste of time from a really valuable investment. So how do you get to that right side of the chart? Well, it starts by assigning a facilitator, and this is a huge deal. A facilitator is a role, not a job title. The most junior person in the room can do this. Their job is simple: protect the meeting's purpose. They keep an eye on the clock, they keep an eye on the agenda, and they make sure the group actually does what it came there to do. And here is the facilitator's secret weapon: the parking lot. You know how it goes. You're in a meeting, and a great but totally unrelated idea pops up.
Instead of letting it derail the whole conversation, the facilitator just says, "Hey, that's a great point. Let's put that in the parking lot to talk about later." You make the person feel heard, but you protect the agenda. It is so simple, but it works every single time.
So, once we have the right tools for preparing and for running the meeting, we can start to think about meetings in a whole new way. It's time to reframe them from this thing we have to do into a powerful strategic advantage.
It really boils down to this. This is the most important thing to remember. The goal is not to get rid of meetings. The goal is to get rid of bad meetings. One is a black hole for your time and money. The other is an engine that drives you forward.
This is what we're all aiming for. A great meeting is like the heartbeat of a healthy company. It's where your strategy actually becomes action. It's where your teams truly get on the same page. And it's where the critical decisions that move the entire business forward are actually made. Because at the end of the day, the way your company meets is just a reflection of the way your company works. A culture that puts up with sloppy, unfocused meetings is a culture that's going to put up with sloppy, unfocused work. But a culture that demands purpose and clarity in its meetings, that's how you build a business that operates with purpose and clarity every single day. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Don't try to fix everything all at once. Just look at your calendar, find the very next meeting that you are in charge of. What's the one thing you're going to do differently? Are you going to define a crystal clear product? Are you going to assign a facilitator? Just pick one thing. Because fixing your company's biggest hidden cost, it all starts with that one small change.